Hey there, day 11, getting ready for our next Get Up and Go challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, Get Up and Go challenge, August 1st to 31st, a 30-day challenge. Yes, 30 days starting Saturday, right here on the Get Up and Go challenge page. We will start 11 a.m. every day. I will make sure I post and record or record live our daily under 10 minutes. No, these have been going about 12, 13 minutes, so I'm going to try very, very hard to make sure it's 10 minutes or less for you to just pop on. We'll talk about a topic, then we'll give you a quick little play book item or action item. I want you to do something every day to move you through August, to guarantee that you'll be better off by August 31st than you are August 1st when we start the challenge in the area of your life that you are most dedicated and most desiring to change and to grow in. Because it doesn't matter what's important to me, it matters what's important to you. Will I be doing it right along with you? Absolutely, because I love challenges and I'm doing them all the time. And even when I'm not online doing a challenge, guess what? I'm always doing challenges in the background in my own life. My sisters actually are to the point of making fun of me because I'm always doing some kind of a challenge. Now, not necessarily physical challenges, but they get irritated by some of them that I do because they think they impact them. Like if I give up sugar and I won't eat their caramel cake or the cake they made, they get upset. So that's all about them, not about me, right? So, challenge. August 1st through 31st, 11 a.m., Get Up and Go challenge page. Getting ready for that, every day I've been sharing some of the biggest lessons learned that I've had over the course of my, 60 years here on planet Earth. And some of them have been personal things that I learned as a child. Other things have been lessons that it took me like 50 years to come up with or to figure out. Not that the world and my experiences hadn't been slamming me in the face with these lessons, I just wasn't getting them. So often what we need is right in our face, but we don't see it. We see things, but we don't observe them. They don't seep into our brain or our being, and we don't actually understand or get them or have that aha moment or that epiphany where we're like, oh my gosh, how come I haven't seen this sooner? I know almost all of us have had that moment where we've seen something over and over and over again, and then it just all of a sudden clicks, and we're like, okay, yeah, I've heard that before. So often we shut things down and we say, oh, I know this, I've heard this before, I've seen this before, yet we're not living it. And so if we really knew it, if we really mastered it, we would be demonstrating it and living it in our lives. I'm that way about a lot of things. You know, there's things like negative self-talk or positive mindset. We all know that we should be our own best friend and talk to ourselves in positive ways, but how many of us actually do it all the time? Like, very few people, right, have an active, positive voice that is the resounding voice in their head. If we all did, guess what? The world would be a better place because we'd all be happy and content and working toward becoming the best version of ourselves that we could be, and we wouldn't be living out our own insecurities and negativity and projecting that on other people. So, what are we talking about today? What is at your core? What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about your core of your physical body. I'm saying your core, meaning what's important to you. What do you stand for? And it can be anything, but how often do we step back and say, what do I really care about? What is really important to me? For example, our families are important to us. Our health is important to us. But sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes, if I'm being really honest, there have been times in my life where my health is number one because it's getting my attention and screaming at me. But otherwise, pretty much just went through my life assuming I would be healthy, especially when we're young. We assume we're going to be healthy. We assume we're going to be strong. We assume that we can handle anything that life throws at us until it throws us some major curveballs and we realize it's a little harder to deal with some of the stuff that comes our way than we thought it was going to be. We always get through it. We're still here. We're surviving. We're moving forward. But sometimes it's been more challenging and harder than we thought it was going to be. So what do you stand for? Today, just think about a couple of things that are important to you, that you stand for, and how you feel and believe about certain things. There's a lot more things we don't care about. We don't even know about the vast majority of things that happen in the world or in life, right? There are things that just never even hit our radar. But then there's other things that we would actually stand up and die for. I mean, I would die for my children. They're like, that's ridiculous. But I would. If one of my kids was sick, I would trade places with them in a heartbeat. One of my kids is in pain, I would trade places with them in a heartbeat. And that seems weird, but there are a few people in the world that we have unconditional love for. And unconditional love means I love them no matter what, and I would do anything I possibly could for them. So what are your core values? What is so important to you? Maybe it's money, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's personal growth and development. I don't know. I stand for certain things like making the world a better place. I used to believe everybody wanted to make the world a better place. That's one of my core values, is that do what you want, continue to grow and be a better person, but make sure you're being a better person, and make sure what you're choosing that is right for you isn't negatively impacting other people or anyone else specifically. If I wanted to do something and I knew it was going to negatively impact my husband, my ex-husband now, but my husband or my children, because I knew it would make me feel good, guess what? I would opt out for not doing it, because loving the people that I love was a higher priority than me feeling good in the short term. So making the world a better place is an example of that. I feel, and it's my core belief, that we should all be striving to make the world a better place. And I use my core values as a filter for what I choose to do and don't choose to do. So if I wanted to create a product or service that I thought would be good for some people, but I knew it would totally negatively impact other people and the planet, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't develop that business idea, because I know overall it wouldn't make the world a better place. We're looking for, in my opinion, things that make the world a better place. Now, not everybody. I'm rude awakening. I've come to discover, my mother burst my bubble on this one and said, you know, dear, everybody does not want to make the world a better place. So a lot of people, they don't care about the world at all. They just care about their own little segment and their own little place in the world. So that's one of mine. Another one of mine is to follow the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. If you wouldn't want to be treated that way, why on earth would you ever treat somebody else that way? If you would not want to be treated in a disrespectful, rude manner or condescending, why would you ever treat anyone else that way? So that's another one of mine, is the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Now, some people think I'm harsh and I expect too much and I'm hard on them, but that's because I expect a ton of myself, I'm hard on myself, and I hold myself accountable. And so I hold the people that I interact with to that same standard. Sometimes it's a little too high for people and I back off, but I treat people the way I expect to be treated. I expect people to treat me with dignity, respect, that I have a brain, that I will work hard, that I will do what I say I will do, etc. Another one of my core values is to be kind to and human to other human beings. It's just as easy to be kind as it is to be unkind. It's just as easy to smile as it is to frown at other people. It's just as easy to focus on the positive as focusing on the negative. It's just as easy to build people up and be generous and kind and giving as it is to be selfish and stingy and rude. So those are just a couple of mine. I'm going to talk about my favorite core belief and my favorite overriding something tomorrow. That'll be a surprise, but everybody should have a driving principle or purpose or personal motto. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But before we can come up with that, we have to know, what do we stand for? What do we stand against? What do we believe in? What do we not believe in? And what is at the core of that? Because guess what? A lot of our beliefs, believe it or not, are changeable. We can change our beliefs whenever we decide to, whenever we choose to. But our core values tend to be more deeply rooted in our being, in our soul, in who we really are. And so that's why it's important to just take a minute or two to consider what those are for you. And what are they? Are they family? Are they freedom? Are they having a positive impact on the world? Are they having an impact on the world? A lot of people just want to go through life kind of anonymously. Others want to make the world a better place. Others want to change the world. Maybe it's a core value of yours to change the world in a big way. Up to you. So that's it. If you are brave, share one of your core values in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow to share my biggie tomorrow. It's my my overriding principle, and if it's been that for at least 10 years on purpose. Before that, it was kind of an underground, in the background thing, and I was still letting life kick me around and other people kick me around based on what I should do. But 10 years ago, I solidly sunk into this core belief and this core value and this core overriding principle that I operate on in everything that I do. And sometimes I get sidetracked and pulled down different roads, but for the most part, this is always the foundation of who I am. All right, have an amazing day, and I will be with you tomorrow with P12, preliminary 12, our last and final, I guess, share lesson learned from my experiences before we head into the 30-day Get Up and Go challenge. I hope you're ready. I know you can do it. Believe you can do it. Guess what? It's not the end of the world if you miss a day. I'm saying don't miss a day, but if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. It'll be recorded. You'll be able to access it. But it's always better if you can join us during the challenge every day versus trying to catch up by yourself, because it's a lot more fun to participate and be doing things with other people than to be doing them all by yourself. I think COVID's taught us that. Have an amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.